Hello again. I just made the first episode of the Athlete Handbook yesterday, and it was about mental health. And this is going to be the second episode of the Athlete Handbook. And this episode is actually going to be all about fear, right? This may pertain to other sports. I've personally only ever been a boxer, so I can only speak on this. So I'm going to speak on fear, from the perspective of boxing. Now, before we begin, who am I? My name is Luis Garcia, or Fresky. I'm from CT, and I'm an amateur boxer. I'm 2-0, and I compete in the 147 weight class, right? So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about fear, my experience, and we're just going to get the ball rolling from there. So, yesterday, I went to spar some elite boxers from Connecticut. One of our boxers has a pro fight in about a month. So not only is he very skilled, the people around him are very skilled, and the training is quite rigorous. The sparring is quite intense because this individual has another pro fight coming up. So shit is really getting real and shit is intense. So I was watching these guys move around, and I'm the new kid on the block. I've only been boxing for 10 months. And I'm like, dude, I'm cooked. I'm like watching them work, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting in there. I had my gloves on, and bro, my body was so hot. My body was so hot. My headgear was so tight, it was giving me a headache. My gloves felt all slimy. Like my shirt was bothering me, like my skin was crawling. I had to use the bathroom. Like I had to do number one, two, three, four, and five. I wanted to just take off all of my gear and run. I literally wanted to flee. I wanted to take everything, get in my car, and drive home. Why on earth am I here on a Thursday night sparring these menaces when I could just be in the comfort of my own room watching Netflix, playing a game? Why do I have to live the life of a combatant? Why can't I just watch it in the comfort of my home? So, like I said, I wanted to take all my gear and run away. Deep down, as embarrassing as this is to admit, I hoped for an easy opponent. I scanned the gym and I saw some opponents who I knew deep down wouldn't challenge me, and I was like, man, I hope I'm going with them. I hope that's the guy. And of course, I didn't get that opponent. I got the hardest opponent I could have possibly gotten. And I was pushed, and I realized that things in this life have never been easy for me. Things have never been easy. This has been the hardest year of my life. Why would right now in this training session be different? Something happened when I realized that I wasn't going against the beginner and I was in fact going against one of these elite athletes. It made me really angry for some reason. For some reason, I was really pissed. I was like, of fucking course, I'm going against somebody who's going to beat me up. Because, like I said, when has life ever taken it easy on me? Of fucking course. It got me so pissed. And I fought. I wound up going 2 rounds with them. Great fighter. Great teammate. He's so helpful to me. I got beat up, but I kept fighting, and I did my best, and I held my own. Obviously, this individual is working with me because he's got all these years of experience. I'm still getting my feet wet. Realistically, like I'm approaching 1 year, and that's nothing. So, I did what I could do, and I just kept fighting. And I was so scared, so scared. Like I literally wanted to jump out of my boxing shoes, but I did it, and I did my best. And that's all I could have done, to be honest. I had my moments, and all the fear went away as I got in. I was scared, 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 and then I get into the ring, and then focus just came over me. Like I just locked in. It's kind of weird. I mean, everybody who does boxing talks about that. So everything else faded, and it was just me in the fight. I was also this nervous for both of my amateur fights. Like I can't lie. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a freaking tough guy. Like I do tough things, but I'm not a freaking tough guy. All right. Mm, sorry. For fight number two, I was freaking out so bad. Fight number two was for my regional championship victory in Connecticut. I was so freaked out, bro. I was so freaked out. My headgear felt too small. My cup was falling off. My fucking gloves were hurting me. I was so hot and burning up. It was terrible. I literally wanted to fucking run away. Everybody's like, go! Go, Lewis! And I'm like, bro, get me out of here. I'm not doing this shit. I was literally talking to my coach, having a borderline panic attack. I was like, Coach, my gloves! My gloves! Like, I was so fucking scared. And my coach was like, dude, what's wrong with you? You know that you can do this. I'm like, I don't know. I was so scared. But once I got in, like, wait, I was so scared. My body was literally physically rejecting what was going to happen. My body was like, I had to use the bathroom. It was like, run away. It was sending me every hormonal signal possible to get me out of that situation. But my mind knew what I had to do. Um, I went and did it. Once I stepped in the ring, I began to flow. The punches started to come together. I got hit, he got hit, and I knew I was going to be okay. The monster my mind had created never really existed in reality. And my opponent was just a man. He was just a man like me. He bled like I bled. He sweats like I sweat. He worries like I worry. He struggles like I struggle. So why should I make a monster out of a man? And I guess that's the lesson of today. Like, what is courage, right? For me, I've defined courage as like feeling scared as heck, and doing it anyways. Like, I don't think courage is the lack of fear. I think courage is to overcome fear. Every time when there's real work ahead of me, whether it's a fight, whether it's a real competitive spar, I'm terrified. And every time I get in there, I never back down. And I'm slowly building more and more courage. I remember last week with my coach, I was like, Coach, I gotta get out. I can't keep sparring. Because I was so tired. And coach was like, you gotta keep going. You're not hurt. You're tired. And then he gave me a game plan to like take care of myself when I'm tired. And, you know, I actually enacted the game plan and it worked in my favor. So I gotta stop doubting myself. And for all the young athletes watching this, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be scared. At the end of the day, like, you might get beat up in there. If you play basketball, it might not be your day. You might not get the ball. You might not get the rebound, but it's not the end of the world. You know, your athletic performance, the sensation of pain, all these things, pain equals progress. If you're feeling pain, that means that you're growing in some capacity. Since boxing is very physical and like I'm feeling pain in boxing, that kind of teaches me to avoid it. So it's like if I got hit by like a left hook and I didn't like the left hook, next time I go, I'm gonna like be more aware of the left hook because I know what the left hook feels like right here. I actually feel it right here because I got left hooked all fucking day yesterday. So, just remember, pain is progress and fear is okay. I'm probably still gonna get scared the next time I go in. That's just life. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be learning these lessons and I'm grateful to be sharing them. So, thank you for listening.